I got a question for you. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm always going to start my podcast with a question. So the question is, are you feeling burnt out from managing multiple platforms for your social media? Struggling to see the results from your social media efforts? I mean, that's the question. Are you feeling burnt out? Like, do you truly feel like that your struggle is not rewarding enough for you? Well, there are a ton of people out there that seem to feel the same way. So guess what? You're not alone. I mean, you are truly not alone in this world. But what if, like, creating content, creating all of the stuff that you are trying to manage, from Instagram to Facebook to YouTube to LinkedIn, Snapchat, Pinterest, what if by some chance you could condense your social media strategy into a focused, action-oriented hour each week? I'm not saying a day, I'm saying a week. It means you got all the time for a whole week to condense down your social media strategy. What if you could do that? Well, guess what? That's the magic of the Social Media Power Hour. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Social Mojo Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Anthony Porter. Today's episode, we're going to dive into a jam-packed episode all about the Social Media Power Hour. You see, we want to make sure that you can get everything done. And I mean everything done in a reasonable amount of time and still be able to enjoy life. You don't want to be bogged down with everything. You want to be able to literally enjoy life. You want to be able to enjoy your family. You want to be able to enjoy your kids. You want to be able to enjoy life itself. So in this next few minutes, we're going to talk about how we can condense down our social media strategy for our platforms. I mean, everything is combined in one, but you want to be able to enjoy life, right? So again, I ask you that question. If that's what your goal is, then that's what we're here to do. Stick around, because we are here to help you. We are here to help you here at the Social Mojo Podcast. This podcast is just what it's about. It's social media, society, life. But it's focused on the business aspect for young entrepreneurs, solo entrepreneurs, small businesses that are trying to grow and scale after they plan. So the key is to plan, grow, and scale your social media and leverage that. So if you're ready to do that, if you're ready to get busy with me, then let's get busy, all right? So, like I said, the first thing is to do is to plan. So if we're planning, we got to plan and prioritize. So let's face it, social media can be a time suck. Believe me. Too many YouTube videos, too many Instagram reels, too many this, too many that. You try to keep up with the latest trends. You try to keep up with all the latest algorithm changes. And it's sucking you in. So why should you pay attention to what I'm about to tell you? Well, I'll tell you why. I've helped, over the last month and a half, I've helped 5 different people changed the social media for the better. For the better. I've helped plan out a couple of social media podcasts. At the same time, I'm taking a challenge with people who choose to follow me as I'm growing mine. I've started this journey with a few people, and we're growing. We started at the beginning of February. So we're setting goals. And that's one of the main things we're leading into here is, the key to the power hour is planning and prioritizing, right? So here's how we do it. We start off by setting some SMART goals. See, my SMART goal was, what do you want to achieve with your social media? Do you want to increase your brand awareness? You want to increase website traffic? You have to clearly define your objectives. So for me, with what I did is I started, I started Elite Marketing Mojo, which is the Elite Marketing _Mojo Instagram page, which I changed the name because I wanted to fit right in, because I wanted everybody to understand that it was about me and it's just not about the marketing company. So what we're doing is we're trying to grow at the same time as the people who are following me. So the reason why you should listen to me is because I'm doing this with you. I'm not going to act like I'm a guru and sit here and tell you that you need to do this and do that, and I'm not doing it. I'm doing it with you, okay? So that's one of the main reasons why you should follow. So I will leave a link to the Instagram so you can log on and catch some of these tips and some of these strategic moves that we're doing. And I'm learning just as well as everybody else is learning, because I'm not able to keep up with everything, but a lot of people have come out and the algorithm has changed. So with the algorithm changing, a lot of things have changed on social media, especially on Instagram. So Instagram is the focal point. Now, when you have SMART goals, then you have to be able to basically, you have to be able to create content, right? Now, one of the SMART goals that you need to, and this is a pro tip, one of the SMART goals that you need to think about creating is focus on one and then repurpose the rest. See, when you focus on one platform, you can repurpose the rest and spread it all across social media. So for me, I focus on Instagram. With some of the content that I make, it can be posted on Facebook, it can be posted on LinkedIn, it can be posted on TikTok, it can be posted in Pinterest. It's all about how you position yourself. It's how you take and generate and utilize your time within this power hour. So it's not just an hour a day, it's an hour for a week. Because you don't have to do a lot of stuff. You plan things out. And so then that leads to another thing, because you have to have a content calendar. That's magical. You want to be able to batch create your content for the whole month and then schedule your post in advance. That saves time and ensures consistency. See, in order for you to be consistent, in order for you to grow, you got to be consistent. The algorithm sees that. If you take, let me say this, if you take and you post one reel for one day, each day for 90 days, the algorithm will be there to watch you, right? Okay. So you don't have to post 3 to 5 times a day, but you have to be consistent. So being consistent means posting a reel at the same time each day. So you have to pick, because I do videos where we talk about the perfect time to post, the perfect time to do this, how to do that. But starting out as a beginner, pick one time. So the best times that I like to post is between 10 and 1 a.m. and then 7 to 9 p.m. Either one of those days, either one of those times. I mean, why do I choose those times? Because see, you got to think. People start work between 7 and 8. By 10, they're stretching, they're a little tired, they want to see what's going on social media, boom, there they are. They searching. Now, you know for a fact, everybody get off 9 to 5s, some 6 to 7, 6 or 7. But most of the time, everybody who's gotten off, they're literally strolling around 7 to 8 o'clock because they're winding down. Dinner's cooked, kids is playing. What do? You pick up your phone, you start scrolling. Through, right? So you want to pick those times. And I hope you wrote that down. I truly hope you wrote that down, because those are the times you want to try. Between 10 and 1. Because 10 is starting to get to where you're getting a little antsy and it's almost lunchtime. Between 12 and 1, you're moving around. Everybody takes different times, right? And then at night, it's between 7 and 8. Those hours. Now, there's another strategy that I'm adapting to, and that's from a friend, from a mentor of mine. I'm going to use that. And it's called the info hour, the infomercial hour. But we'll get into that a little bit later, because that's a little more advanced, all right? So, but then you kind of want to focus. You want to focus on the high impact platforms. So not all platforms are created equal. You have to identify the ones that your target audience hangs at. So for me, it's Instagram, because a lot of people on Instagram because they like the pictures, they like the reels. Facebook has 3.5 billion people at any given time on it. Instagram has 2.5 billion people. Now, if you don't understand how Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and LinkedIn and all of those work, we're going to get into one of our episodes where we're going to talk about how these platforms play a part and how you can take advantage of these platforms. All right. So picking the one that works for you is very important. So you have to pick the one that works for you. You can't just sit there and be like, okay, I want to do this podcast, or I want to shoot this video. How do I do it? My choice, you got to have a content calendar. You have to have SMART goals. You have to have a content calendar that works for you. And you also have to have some tools that go along with it. So everybody knows AI is big right now. So you can plan out an entire month worth of content, an entire month's worth of podcasting or videos using AI, and you can do it all. Listen, this is why it's so simple for you to say hour a week. You can knock out a whole lot of stuff with Gemini or ChatGPT and Canva. If you're one who likes to be in front of the camera, you got it covered. If you don't, you got Canva and you got 11 Labs. Those are the ones that I like to use. All right, those are the AI tools I like to use. So once you figure that out, now you got to get into the activities. All right. So as we jump over to the next segment, talk about the Power Hour activities. So what are the activities for? The activities is the action. Now, when you talk about action, you got to think about this. So you planned out what you want to do. You got your SMART goals. You built out a content calendar. You either use Notion, Google Sheets, Trello. Any one of those will work. And Notion is free. Google Sheets is free. Trello, you got to pay a little price, but any one of those will work, right? And you pick it at your one platform, which is great. You pick out one. So now let's get into the action. So we're going to talk about some creation, the content creation blitz. It's fourth down. Games on the line. Batch creating content like graphics, videos, and blog posts. This streamlines the process and saves you a ton of time. Now, can you imagine you create, let's say you plan something out, all right? And it's good, let me say this. It's good to plan things out weeks in advance. All right, so we're in March. I already got some posts planned out. I like to do some spontaneous things. So we're going to plan out. We're going to start looking probably within the next 2 weeks to start planning out for April. Spring. So we trying to get all our ideas together. So if I know my content calendar is a 30-day calendar, I might post, because I post 3 to 5 times a day. So I might post a couple reels a day. I might post a reel of carousel and single. I might post all singles. I might post a couple carousels. I might go live. You never know. But my content calendar states what I'm going to do. So I follow that, right? So I batch content. So I know I might do 15 singles for that month, right? So what I'll do is I'll go in here next week or week after next, and I'll start going and talking to ChatGPT or Gemini, whichever one's gonna work for me. And I say, hey, I need to create 15 single posts for Instagram. And then I tell it what I want to create it for. And then I give it a little bit more specifics. It's like cooking. All right. It's like cooking. It's like you're in the kitchen in Big Mama's house. And Big Mama comes through and she says, baby, pass me the salt, pass me the pepper. And then you turn around and Big Mama has already got another set of ingredients over here. You know, we're cooking pot roast, right? She's got a little garlic powder. She got some onion. She might have a little green pepper. She might sprinkle a little speck of cumin on her, give it a little flavor. She might mix it on a beef broth. See, it's ingredients. So when you're feeding these AI prompts into your system, it's the ingredients. You can't just say, can you make me 30 days worth of content? It ain't gonna know what you want it to make. It ain't gonna know what niche you in, and it ain't definitely not going to know who you want to target. So you have to be able to do that. So once you streamline that process, now you want to get to the point where you want to get the community engaged. So understand this. You're creating the blitz, right? But that blitz you want to create to make sure that you get engagement from your content. So you want to draw people in. So you want to, how do you do that? So here's what you do. You make a post. This is one strategy you need to write down. Make a post. Post your reel. In the caption or in the call to action, tell them what you want them to do. And as soon as you post it, you like your own video first, right? But then you go and search somebody in your niche. Find somebody like, okay, let's say for instance in my niche, because I do digital content marketing, Russell Brunson. I'll go to Russell's page. I'll find somebody on Russell's page, read a comment that he just recently posted to. So if he already made a post and somebody commented, I'll go and look at his top 5 comments. If I like what they said, I'll follow them. And then I'll respond and like they post, which in turn gets them to come back and say, okay, now they're checking out my content. Once they check out my content, we're good to go because now we're following each other. And now my wings have spread like an eagle and we're growing and the algorithm is reading that. So you want to respond to comments, answer questions, and participate in relevant conversations. We're building a relationship. Others call it something else. We call it building a tribe. That's what we're doing. We're building a relationship. We're building a tribe. And then after you do all of that, you analyze and adapt. So knowing the numbers is important because once you track your social media, and you understand how the algorithm works and your insights work, you look at this, so you track your social media analytics to see a few things, what's working and what's not. You use that data to refine your strategy and optimize your content. So basically what I do is I like to see what video is popular, what reel I've posted is popular. And once I figure out what reel is popular, then and only then do I figure out which one is not popular. And I say, okay, I need to make more like this. And then I look to see what time and who's online. And it trust me, once you understand the metrics, your social media skyrockets and takes off. So with all of that being said, we get into the final segment. And the final segment is basically how to maximize your time. Remember, this is the power hour. And the power hour means we are trying to be more efficient. So here's some tips to maximize your time. Number one, I just done this because I wasn't doing it. I was using my smartwatch here. I was set the timer here. But the beep kept going off in the middle of my videos and it was getting on my nerves. Buy you a wall timer and set it to where you can see it so you can look beyond your count. Okay? So set your timer and stick to it. If you set your timer and you make it a video for 15 minutes, you know at certain times you got to get out of there. So you need to start wrapping it up, right? So focus on your work sessions. Set your timer, treat it like it's an hour, focus on it, okay? Minimize your distractions. I like to shoot my videos with no one around. Simple. I like to shoot the videos with nobody's around. That way I don't have to worry about anybody bothering me. There's nobody calling me. My grandkids are not here. My kids is old. So when I'm shooting in my office, nobody's here to distract me. Okay? And then batching similar tasks together. This reduces context switching and helping you stay in flow. So basically, let's say you're doing content creation content. So if you're going to do a reel on content creation, you want to do 5 reels on content creation, fine. You want to do 5 carousels, 5 singles on content creation, that's fine. Do them all at the same time and then move on to the next one. Because if you do the content creation and you try to do the algorithm all on the reels, it's going to be do everything at once. So content creation, do your reels, your carousels, your singles. If you go shoot a live, do that. And then go over to the next one and talk about how the algorithm works, do all of that content, and so forth and so on. Okay. And once you get that done, it becomes repeat. These become your SOPs. These become your standard operating procedures. And that's what you need. Standard operating procedures. Now, the social media power hour is a powerful tool to take control of your social media, especially your presence on social media. And it helps you achieve real results. And that's what you want. You kind of want to take control of your results. So by planning, prioritizing, and focusing on high impact activities, you can make the most of your time to see your social media grow. All right. Now, what you learned today is more important than what you'll learn 6 months from now, because this is going to help you with your business. All right. These strategies and these tactics that we teach in here at Social Mojo Mark, these strategies and these tactics that we are teaching here at Social Mojo Podcast. What we're talking about is perfect for anyone trying to grow, plan, grow, plan, grow, plan. You see how I'm saying that? I'm going back because we're planning, we're growing, and we're scaling. All right. So do us a favor. Follow us, Social Mojo Podcast, on Instagram. Subscribe to the podcast. Like, tell your friends. Tell all your friends. All right. Let's get it popping. Let's build this community. Let's build this tribe. Let's get this done. All right. Don't forget to leave us a review and let us know what you think about this particular episode and future episodes. All right. It's your man's Anthony Porter, here, Social Mojo Podcast. We out here. Peace.